Imagine waking up every morning, stretching your arms wide, and realizing the entire day is yours to command. No compromises, no arguments about who left the dishes in the sink, just pure, unadulterated freedom. So that's the power of living alone, my friends. And today, we're going to dive deep into why this lifestyle choice might just be the key to unlocking your full potential. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what about love? What about companionship? Hold that thought. We're going to explore why living solo isn't just a viable option. It's a path to personal greatness that can surpass even the most picture-perfect relationship. Let's start with the fundamentals. When you live alone, you're the captain of your own ship. You set the course, you make the rules, and you face the consequences, good or bad. It's a level of responsibility that can be daunting at first, but it's also the fastest track to personal growth you'll ever encounter. Think about it. When was the last time you truly challenged yourself? When did you last push beyond your comfort zone without someone else's opinion holding you back? Living alone forces you to confront your own limitations and overcome them. There's no safety net, no partner to lean on when things get tough. It's just you. In fact, this self-reliance is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Soon you'll find yourself tackling problems you never thought possible. That leaky faucet, fixed. That intimidating job interview, nailed it. That dream vacation you've always wanted to take, booked and planned, all by yourself. But it's not just about practical skills. Living alone cultivates a deep sense of self-awareness. In the quiet moments, when it's just you and your thoughts, you start to understand who you truly are. Your desires, your fears, your quirks, they all come into sharp focus when you're not constantly adapting to someone else's presence. This self-knowledge is priceless. It's the foundation upon which you can build a life of purpose and fulfillment. When you know yourself inside and out, you make better decisions. You choose careers that align with your values. You pursue hobbies that genuinely excite you. You form friendships with people who appreciate the real you, not some watered-down version designed to please a partner. Now, I'm not saying relationships are bad. Far from it. Human connection is vital. But here's the kicker. When you live alone and develop this rock-solid sense of self, any relationships you do form are infinitely stronger. You're not entering into them out of need or fear of loneliness. You're choosing to connect with others from a place of wholeness and self-sufficiency. Let's talk about productivity. When you live alone, your time is truly your own. No more negotiating with a partner about how to spend your evenings or weekends. Want to stay up until 3 and working on that passion project. Go for it. Feel like spending an entire Sunday learning a new skill. Nothing's stopping you. This control over your time is a superpower. It allows you to design your days for maximum efficiency and fulfillment. You can create routines that work perfectly for you without having to factor in someone else's preferences or schedule. The result? You get more done and you enjoy the process more. But it's not just about quantity of work. It's about quality too. Living alone provides the perfect environment for deep focus and creativity. There's no background noise, no interruptions, just pure, uninterrupted concentration. This is where breakthroughs happen. This is where you can dive deep into your craft and emerge with something truly extraordinary. Let's address the elephant in the room. Loneliness. It's the #1 fear that holds people back from embracing the solo lifestyle. But here's the truth. Loneliness and being alone are not the same thing. Loneliness is a state of mind, a feeling of disconnection. Being alone is simply a physical state. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to reframe solitude as a positive. It becomes your time to recharge, to reflect, to pursue your passions without distraction. And the beautiful thing is, once you learn to enjoy your own company, you'll never truly be lonely again. Moreover, living alone doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world. In fact, it often leads to richer, more diverse social connections. Without a partner to fall back on, you're more likely to put yourself out there. You join clubs. You strike up conversations with strangers, you reconnect with old friends, your social circle expands, bringing new perspectives and opportunities into your life. Financial independence is another massive advantage of the solo lifestyle. When you live alone, you have complete control over your finances. Every penny you earn is yours to save, invest, or spend as you see fit. No more arguments about money. No more compromising on financial goals. You can aggressively save for that dream home or splurge on that luxury item you've always wanted. The choice is yours. This financial freedom opens up a world of possibilities. Want to quit your job and start a business? When you're living alone, you can cut your expenses to the bone and take that leap without having to convince a partner. Dreaming of early retirement? With disciplined saving and investing, it's within reach when you're only responsible for yourself. Let's talk about personal growth. When you're in a relationship, it's easy to become complacent. You settle into routines. You compromise on your ambitions. You let your partner's limitations become your own. But when you're flying solo, the sky's the limit. Living alone pushes you to continually evolve. You can't rely on anyone else to fix your problems or fill the gaps in your knowledge. If you want something done, you have to learn how to do it yourself. This constant learning keeps your mind sharp and your skills up to date. But it's not just about practical skills. Living alone gives you the space to work on yourself emotionally and spiritually. You can meditate for hours without interruption. You can read self-help books and actually implement the advice without resistance from a skeptical partner. You can go on solo retreats to reconnect with yourself and your goals. This focus on personal growth pays dividends in every area of your life. You become more confident, more capable, more at peace with yourself, and ironically, these qualities make you incredibly attractive to others. When you're living your best life solo, you'll find that people are drawn to your energy and independence. Now, let's address a common misconception. That living alone means missing out on life's big moments. Weddings, birthdays, holidays, these are often seen as times when being single can feel lonely. But here's the truth. These events are what you make of them. When you live alone, you have the freedom to create your own traditions. You can host epic Friendsgiving dinners. You can take yourself on birthday adventures to exotic locations. You can volunteer during the holidays, spreading joy to those less fortunate. These experiences can be just as meaningful, if not more so, than traditional family gatherings. Moreover, living alone allows you to be fully present for your friends and family during these times. You're not juggling the competing demands of a partner and their family. You can show up 100 for the people you care about, strengthening those bonds in ways that might not be possible if you were in a relationship. Let's talk about health and wellness. When you live alone, you have complete control over your environment. Your home can be a sanctuary of health and peace. No one bringing junk food into the house. No one disrupting your sleep with late-night TV habits. No one pressuring you to skip your workout. This control extends to your mental health as well. Living alone provides a buffer against the stresses of the outside world. Your home becomes a place where you can fully decompress, free from the need to manage anyone else's emotions or needs. This ability to fully relax and recharge is invaluable in our high stress. But what about physical health? Isn't having a partner good for your well-being? While it's true that some studies show health benefits to being in a relationship, living alone can be just as healthy, if not more so, when done mindfully. You have the freedom to prepare nutritious meals exactly to your liking. You can design a fitness routine that fits perfectly with your schedule and goals. You can prioritize sleep without compromise. Moreover, living alone often leads to a more active social life, which has numerous health benefits. You're more likely to join sports teams, take fitness classes, or go on active adventures with friends when you're not tied to a partner's preferences or schedule. Now let's address the issue of safety, often a concern for those considering living alone. The truth is, with modern technology and a bit of common sense, living alone can be just as safe as living with others. Smart home security systems, neighborhood watch programs, and strong connections with neighbors can all contribute to a secure living environment. But safety isn't just about physical security, it's about creating a space where you feel emotionally and mentally safe as well. When you live alone, you have complete control over the energy of your home. There's no walking on eggshells around a moody partner, no absorbing someone else's stress or negativity. Your home becomes a true haven, a place where you can always be your authentic self. Let's talk about decision making. When you live alone, you become a master of making choices. Every decision, from what to have for dinner to whether to change careers, is yours and yours alone. This might seem daunting at first, but it's incredibly empowering. You learn to trust your instincts. You develop confidence in your ability to weigh options and choose the best path forward. This skill serves you well in every area of life, from your career to your personal relationships. When you do interact with others, you come from a place of self-assurance, not neediness or indecision. This ability to make decisions quickly and confidently is a superpower in today's fast-paced world. While others are stuck in analysis paralysis or waiting for someone else's approval, you're taking action and moving forward. This alone can put you leagues ahead in your personal and professional life. Now, let's address the topic of intimacy. Many people fear that living alone means sacrificing deep connections. But here's the truth. True intimacy starts with yourself. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to develop a level of self-intimacy that's rarely possible in a relationship. You learn to be comfortable in your own skin. You discover what truly brings you joy, what makes you feel alive. You become your own best friend, confidant, and cheerleader. This self-intimacy is the foundation for all other relationships in your life. And contrary to popular belief, living alone doesn't mean giving up physical intimacy. It simply means you have more control over when and how you experience it. You can choose to date casually, to have committed partnerships without cohabitation, or to focus on deep friendships. The key is that these choices come from a place of want, not need. Let's talk about creativity. When you live alone, you have the perfect environment to nurture your creative spirit. There's no one to judge your half-finished paintings, no one to interrupt your writing flow, no one to criticize your off-key singing as you compose a new song. This freedom to explore your creativity without fear of judgment is invaluable. It allows you to take risks, to experiment, to fail spectacularly, and try again. Many of the world's greatest artists, writers, and innovators have credited their solo living situations with providing the space they needed to create their masterpiece. But creativity isn't just about art. It's about problem solving, about seeing the world in new ways. When you live alone, you're constantly exercising your creative muscles. Every challenge you face, from fixing a broken appliance to planning a solo trip, is an opportunity to think outside the box and come up with innovative solutions. Now let's address the issue of legacy. Many people believe that being in a relationship and having a family is the only way to leave a lasting impact on the world. But this couldn't be further from the truth. When you live alone, you have the freedom to pursue your passions with single-minded focus. You can dedicate yourself to causes you believe in, pour your energy into building a business that changes lives, or create art that moves people's souls. Your legacy isn't limited to your descendants. It can touch the lives of thousands or even millions of people. Moreover, living alone often leads to stronger community involvement. Without the insular focus of a romantic relationship, you're more likely to engage with your neighborhood, to volunteer, to become a mentor. These actions create ripple effects that can last for generations. Let's talk about adaptability, a crucial skill in our rapidly changing world. When you live alone, you become incredibly adaptable. You learn to handle whatever life throws at you, from minor inconveniences to major crises. This resilience is invaluable in both your personal and professional life. Think about it. When you live with a partner, it's easy to fall into set roles. Maybe they always handle the finances while you take care of the cooking. But when you live alone, you have to be a jack of all trades. This constant skill building keeps you flexible and ready for anything. This adaptability extends to your mindset as well. When you're not tied to another person's way of thinking, you're free to change your mind, to evolve your beliefs, to adapt to new information quickly. In a world where the only constant is change, this mental flexibility is a massive advantage. Now let's address the fear of growing alone, often cited as a reason to prioritize relationships over solo living. But here's the truth, there are no guarantees in life. Plenty of people in relationships end up feeling alone in their later years. The key to a fulfilling life at any age is to build a strong support network and to find purpose in your days. When you live alone, you're more likely to maintain diverse friendships throughout your life. You're more likely to stay engaged with your community. You're more likely to keep learning and growing, keeping your mind sharp as you age. These factors contribute to a rich, fulfilling life well into your golden years. Moreover, the self-reliance you develop from living alone serves you well as you age. You're not dependent on a partner for your happiness or well-being. You know how to take care of yourself, how to solve problems, how to find joy in your own company. This independence is invaluable at any age, but especially as you grow older. Let's talk about travel, one of life's great pleasures. When you live alone, the world truly becomes your oyster. You can jet off on a moment's notice without having to coordinate schedules or compromise on destination. You can immerse yourself fully in new cultures without having to worry about a partner's comfort zone or preferences. Solo travel is one of the most enriching experiences you can have. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, forces you to interact with new people, and gives you the space to reflect on your life and your goals. Many people report that their solo travels were transformative experiences, leading to major life changes and personal breakthroughs. But even if you're not jetting around the globe, living alone allows you to be a tourist in your own city. You can explore new neighborhoods, try new restaurants, attend local events, all on your own schedule and at your own pace. This sense of adventure in everyday life keeps things exciting and prevents you from falling into a rut. Now, let's address the issue of personal space, something that's often overlooked but incredibly important for well-being. When you live alone, your entire home is your personal space. You can design it exactly to your liking, creating an environment that nurtures and inspires you. This control over your environment has a profound impact on your mental health. Your home becomes a true reflection of your personality, a place where you can fully relax and be yourself. There's no need to compromise on decor choices, no arguments about cleanliness standards, no negotiation about how to use shared spaces. But personal space isn't just about physical surroundings. It's also about mental and emotional space. When you live alone, you have the room to process your thoughts and feelings without interference. You can work through problems at your own pace, without the pressure to explain or justify your emotions. Let's talk about personal rituals and habits, the small actions that, compounded over time, shape our lives and our character. When you live alone, you have the freedom to develop rituals that truly serve you. Maybe it's a complex morning routine that sets you up for a productive day. Perhaps it's a weekly deep cleaning session that keeps your space and your mind clear and organized. These personal rituals become anchors in your life, providing structure and meaning. They're not subject to anyone else's schedule or preferences. You can adjust them as needed, experimenting until you find what works best for you. This level of personalization in your daily life is a luxury that's often overlooked, but incredibly powerful. Now, let's address the topic of self-discovery, a lifelong journey that's supercharged when you live alone. Without the constant presence of a partner, you're forced to sit with yourself, to confront your thoughts and feelings head-on. This can be uncomfortable at times, but it's also incredibly rewarding. You discover your true likes and dislikes, unclouded by anyone else's preferences. You uncover hidden talents and interests that might have remained dormant in a relationship. You learn to hear and trust your own inner voice rather than constantly seeking validation from others. This deep self-knowledge is invaluable. It allows you to make authentic choices in every area of your life, from your career to your personal relationships. You're not living according to someone else's script or societal expectations. You're charting your own course based on a profound understanding of who you are and what you want. Let's talk about productivity again, but from a different angle. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to design your environment for peak performance. Your workspace can be tailored exactly to your needs without having to consider anyone else's preferences or work style. This optimization extends beyond just your physical space. You can create routines and systems that maximize your efficiency and creativity. Maybe you work best in complete silence, or perhaps you thrive with specific background music. When you live alone, you can create these conditions without compromise. Moreover, living alone often leads to better time management skills. There's no one else to rely on or blame. You're fully responsible for how you spend your hours. This accountability can be a powerful motivator, pushing you to make the most of every. Now, let's address the issue of personal growth once more, but from the perspective of risk-taking. When you live alone, you're more likely to take calculated risks that can lead to massive personal and professional growth. There's no one to hold you back, no one whose financial or emotional stability you need to consider. Want to quit your job and start a business? When you live alone, you can cut your expenses to the bare minimum and take that leap. Interested in moving to a new city or even a new country? There's no need to negotiate or compromise. This freedom to take risks often leads to accelerated personal growth. You learn to trust yourself, to bounce back from failures, to adapt to new situations quickly. These are invaluable life skills that serve you well in every area of your life. Let's talk about the concept of simplicity. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, living alone offers the opportunity to embrace a simpler lifestyle. You're not accumulating possessions to fill a large family home. You're not juggling multiple schedules or trying to meet the diverse needs of several people. Instead, you can focus on what truly matters to you. You can declutter your space and your life, keeping only what brings you joy and serves a purpose. The simplicity can be incredibly freeing, reducing stress and allowing you to focus your energy on your goals and passions. Now, let's address the topic of self-reliance once more, but from a different angle. When you live alone, you become your own hero. You learn to solve problems, to comfort yourself in tough times, to celebrate your own victories. This self-reliance is incredibly empowering. You discover strengths you never knew you had. Maybe you find out you're great at fixing things around the house. Perhaps you discover a talent for cooking when you have to prepare all your own meals. These discoveries build your confidence and expand your skill set in ways that might not happen if you were relying on a partner. Let's talk about the freedom to reinvent yourself. When you live alone, you're not tied to anyone else's perception of who you are. You can explore new identities, try new personalities, experiment with new styles, all without judgment or resistance from a partner. This freedom to evolve is crucial for personal growth. We're not the same people at 30 that we were at 20, or at 40 that we were at 30. Living alone allows you to honor these changes, to grow and adapt without the friction that often comes with changing within a relationship. Now let's address the issue of energy management. When you live alone, you have complete control over your energy levels. There's no one draining your batteries with their own needs or problems. You can recharge in whatever way works best for you, whether that's complete solitude or social interaction. This control over your energy is a superpower. It allows you to show up fully in all areas of your life. You can give your all at work, be fully present for your friends and family, and still have energy left over for your personal projects and passions. Let's talk about the opportunity for deep work. In our distraction-filled world, the ability to focus deeply on challenging tasks is becoming increasingly rare and valuable. When you live alone, you can create the perfect environment for this kind of intense concentration. You can block out hours or even days for uninterrupted work on important projects. There's no one to interrupt your flow, no one to demand your attention. This ability to engage in deep work can lead to extraordinary results in your career or personal projects. Now let's address the topic of self-love. In a society that often equates being single with being incomplete, living alone offers the opportunity to develop a profound sense of self-love and self-acceptance. You learn to enjoy your own company, to treat yourself with kindness and respect. This self-love becomes the foundation for all the relationships in your life. When you truly love and accept yourself, you don't enter into relationships out of neediness or fear of being alone. Instead, you choose to connect with others from a place of wholeness and self-sufficiency. Let's talk about the freedom to follow your curiosity. When you live alone, you can dive deep into any topic that interests you without having to justify your choices to anyone. Want to spend a whole weekend learning about quantum physics? Go for it. Fascinated by medieval history? You can transform your living room into a study nook dedicated to the subject. This freedom to follow your interests wherever they lead can result in a rich, multifaceted life. You become a more interesting person with diverse knowledge and experiences to share. This intellectual curiosity keeps your mind sharp and can lead to unexpected opportunities in both your personal and professional life. Now let's address the issue of personal boundaries. When you live alone, you become an expert at setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. You learn to say no to things that don't serve you, to protect your time and energy, to stand up for your needs and wants. These boundary setting skills serve you well in areas of life. In your career, you're able to avoid burnout by clearly communicating your limits. In your personal relationships, you can cultivate deeper, more authentic connections by being clear about your needs and expectations. Let's talk about the opportunity for mindfulness. Living alone provides the perfect environment to develop a strong mindfulness practice. There's no one else's energy to contend with, no external distractions to pull you out of the present moment. You can start your day with meditation. Practice mindful eating without anyone rushing you. Engage in mindful movement without feeling self-conscious. This cultivation of mindfulness can lead to reduced stress, improved mental health, and a greater sense of overall well-being. Now let's address the topic of financial freedom once more, but from a different perspective. When you live alone, you have the opportunity to develop a deep understanding of your personal finances. There's no combining of accounts, no negotiations about spending priorities. You see clearly where every dollar goes. This financial clarity can be incredibly empowering. You can align your spending with your values, save aggressively for your goals, invest in your future without compromise. Many people find that they're able to achieve financial milestones much faster when living alone, simply because they have complete control over their money. Let's talk about the freedom to create your own definition of success. When you live alone, you're not bound by anyone else's expectations or timeline. You don't have to measure your life against the traditional markers of success: marriage, kids, a big house in the suburbs. Instead, you can define success on your own terms. Maybe for you, success means having the freedom to travel the world. Perhaps it's about making a significant impact in your community. Or maybe it's about reaching the pinnacle of your chosen career. Whatever it is, living alone gives you the space to pursue your own vision of a successful life. Now, let's address the issue of personal growth through discomfort. When you live alone, you can't avoid discomfort by losing yourself in a relationship or relying on a partner to solve your problems. You have to face your fears, confront your insecurities, push through difficult emotions. This willingness to sit with discomfort is where real growth happens. You become more resilient, more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. This emotional strength serves you well in all areas of life, from your career to your personal relationships. Let's talk about the opportunity for continuous learning. When you live alone, you're constantly pushed to acquire new skills and knowledge. From managing your finances to fixing things around the house, from cooking nutritious meals to navigating social situations solo. Every day presents new learning opportunities. This constant learning keeps your mind sharp and your life interesting. You become a more well-rounded, capable individual. And in today's rapidly changing world, this ability to continuously learn and adapt is invaluable. Now, let's address the topic of authenticity. When you live alone, you have the space to truly be yourself. There's no pressure to conform to a partner's expectations or to compromise your true nature for the sake of harmony in a relationship. You can explore your quirks, indulge your passions, express yourself freely. This authenticity is magnetic. It draws people to you and allows you to form deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Let's talk about the freedom to design your ideal lifestyle. When you live alone, you're not constrained by anyone else's preferences or needs. You can create a life that perfectly aligns with your values and goals. Maybe you want to live a minimalist lifestyle, owning only what you truly need. Perhaps you dream of a life filled with adventure, moving to a new city every year. Or maybe your ideal life involves dedicating yourself fully to a cause you're passionate about. Whatever your vision, living alone gives you the freedom to pursue it wholeheartedly. Now, let's address the issue of personal responsibility. When you live alone, you become fully accountable for your life. There's no one else to blame for your mistakes, no one to rely on for your problems. This level of responsibility can be daunting at first, but it's incredibly empowering in the long run. You learn to trust yourself, to believe in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This self-reliance and sense of personal responsibility translate into all areas of your life, making you a more dependable friend, a more valuable employee, a more effective leader. Let's talk about the opportunity for self-reflection. Living alone provides ample time and space for introspection. You can regularly check in with yourself, assess your progress towards your goals, reflect on your experiences and learn from them. This habit of self-reflection leads to greater self-awareness and personal growth. You become more intentional about your choices, more aligned with your values, more clear about your path in life. Now, as we wrap up this exploration of the power of living alone, let's remember this. The choice to live solo isn't about rejecting relationships or isolating yourself from others. It's about creating a strong foundation of self-love, self-reliance, and self-knowledge. From this place of personal strength, you can form deeper, more authentic connections with others. Living alone is about freedom, the freedom to design your life exactly as you want it, to pursue your passions without compromise, to grow and evolve at your own pace. It's about taking full responsibility for your happiness and success. So if you're considering the solo lifestyle, or if you're already living it and sometimes doubt your choice, remember, you have the power to create an extraordinary life on your own terms. Embrace the journey of self-discovery. Establish the freedom to chart your own course. Cultivate deep self-love and self-reliance. The world is full of possibilities, and when you live alone, you're free to explore them all. Your life is a blank canvas, and you hold the brush. Paint it in bold, beautiful strokes. Create a masterpiece that's uniquely, gloriously you. Remember, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. Nurture it, cherish it, invest in it. When you truly love and accept yourself, when you're comfortable in your own company, you become unstoppable. So here's to living alone. To freedom, to growth, to self-discovery. Here's to creating a life that's authentic, fulfilling, and uniquely yours. The journey of solo living may not always be easy, but it's always worth it. Embrace it, enjoy it, and watch yourself soar to new heights of personal success and fulfillment. The choice is yours. The power is yours. Your extraordinary life is waiting.